Welcome to Thievius Entertainment, and this is Rabbit Hole. This is a show based on questions that people don't ask us, but we're ready to answer the hell out of them. And I am Matt,
I'm Dan Chester.
I'm Jimmy Jazz.
and this is Rabbit Hole. The question of the week is actually, what is your favorite video game movie?
Mr. Mateo, what is your favorite video game movie?
My favorite video game movie, it has to be Doom, but I do like the Sonic movie that literally just came out like last year. It was pretty fun. It was awesome. It's like a decent like rendition of it. It's just meant for more kids stuff than adults. So, I didn't get really attached to it. But Doom is freaking awesome. Even though like they had to give him more of a storyline than that you were just a guy on a like Mars or Mars on a space station, and like demons just got like released into your station. So this portals just popping up like out in the game, and you had to destroy them, and you had to just like make it to the end and defeat the main boss to shut off all the demon portals. At least in the movie, they had like a decent cast. We all know The Rock was in it. The Rock was in it. He's the main like. I would say at the end he ended up becoming the boss. So he just was it? They give the story that this Mars station's getting like overrun by these creatures. They need something to kick in, so they end up sending a group, and they basically just cleanse and just lose people. And I like how, including that was an early movie, wasn't it? Like 2005, right, Dan?
I think it was. It might have been even earlier than that, 2004.
And a lot of the special effects wasn't that bad either for like being a space movie, and they used a lot of practical and with it too, and like it was pretty neat. They held up to what's it call it, the how all the creatures looked and everything. But like the one thing was there's a guy named Pinky. He was supposed to be like one of those giant he was supposed to be like the bulldozing demons, like the really big tough guys that just ram at you. No. I believe he's one of those, and they ended up just making him more doggy style than like I would say like a demon that's like a more bull. Pinky wasn't like as accurate, but he had like was he paralyzed, so he was in a wheelchair, so they just attached his wheelchair to his leg, so he just swung that thing around. But it wasn't bad at all, that movie. So I enjoyed like watching it multiple times when I was a kid until now. That's over there. That's my choice. My favorite video game movie. My favorite scene is when what's his name? I want to say what was it? The big black guy with the minigun.
Barrett.
I want to say what?
Was it Garrett from Final Fantasy VII?
Not Barrett. No. Nah, he was like he ends up fighting one of the main fighting one of the demons in the lightning chamber. That was pretty awesome, including when the main character actually like takes the serum and he actually just goes in first person mode and just runs around killing everything. That's another one of my favorite things that happens. You don't see that often in early movies.
I'd say, like, it feels weird to say it, that I think my favorite video game movie is probably Sonic the Hedgehog. And as you didn't know, I'm an avid Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Been practically from birth since I had the Sega Genesis. That's all I ever did was Sonic the Hedgehog. And video game movies don't tend to be fantastic or generally kind towards their source material a lot of the times. And with Sonic, it's palatable, where they kind of take what Sonic is, and Sonic is a very loose story to begin with. And literally, he's on an island. There's an evil, doctor, puts, animals and robots. Sonic saves the day. They kind of change that up a little bit. But I think that they stayed true enough towards his kind of attitude, especially it looks like they're kind of going for a blend of they're doing like classic Sonic idea, but with the modern Sonic aesthetic, especially when it goes to his attitude and behavior. So it kind of does flow within the universe. If you plopped this Sonic into a modern Sonic game, I think you would blend very well. And I think, especially towards the end, is what I think really makes it my favorite, is that I think the movie's been out long enough that I don't have to worry about spoiler alerts. But, you know, it has the introduction of Tails, Eggman's on in the Mushroom World, which, I mean, we all know is supposed to be Mushroom Hill Zone. And I think it's definitely pushing to go towards those Genesis classics. I think it's the only video game movie that I'm like, man, I want there to be a sequel. Because my first thought was, you know, the Pokemon movie was always a childhood favorite, and I think it is for most people. But it kind of, the story goes and it kind of ends. And then they made all these tag-along movies, but it was never something like, oh man, they need to make a new one. Like, we needed Pokemon 2000. Even as a kid, I never thought that I wanted that. And I feel like with Sonic, it got me excited as a Sonic fan, where the movie, you know, Sonic went fast. You know, they changed a few things up, you know, kind of like Sonic's on an island, but Mushroom Hill Zone isn't in the same universe, but the Echidnas, where I kind of got confused as where the Echidnas are from Angel Island, where Mushroom Hill Zone is, but apparently they're on whatever island Sonic's on. It's a nondescript island. But, you know, besides that, I think they did a really good job with that, kind of setting up the world, which I kind of forgive it for not being like the world's greatest movie, is that they set it up to make it a film that can really be appreciated by fans, as opposed to just being a movie for the masses, where it can do both. I do appreciate that, and I was also really excited that the Echidnas, I got to see them on the big screen, because the last time anyone's seen them is Sonic Adventure. So they haven't really gotten any representation outside of Knuckles, so it was really fantastic to see them in like great quality, moving. You know, unfortunately they were the villains, but it was really neat. And I think that even Longclaw, Sonic's mentor, to me anyway, I don't know if it was, it felt like a nod to the Sonic OVA for the Old Man Owl. Absolutely just insane old guy who was, you know, my favorite in the OVA, and it felt kind of like a nod to that in a way that they made it an owl. But might not be, but it's how it went for me. And, you know, but I think overall, like, it's setting itself up to really open up the world, and like, it has potential. As where most, you know, movies that go along with video games, the first one comes out and then it's immediately just in the trash. With a lot of there's where this one I feel like really kind of geared up to, you know, be something that fans could enjoy, that they put in the love. And also, as everyone's well aware of the debacle with the CGI for Sonic, that, you know, Sonic would have been a horror movie, you know, and luckily it didn't end that way. They came back and they hired, I can't remember his name, but the artist who did the intro cutscenes for Sonic Mania while also doing Sonic Mania shorts, had him come in and help kind of work with them on what Sonic should look like. And, you know, whether you loved it or hated it, depending on how close you wanted it to be to its original, I think it was definitely a fair compromise, and it showed that, at least to a point, that they care about the character enough to not just say, well, too bad, this is what we're doing, it's our original idea, so be it. So I'd say definitely that's why it's my top tier for video game movies, even if I wouldn't say it's the greatest movie or like a fantastic, even if I don't even know how, I'd say it's almost a good movie. Like, it's like, I feel really weird saying it, because it's, you know, kind of like, no, I mean, it's all right. You know, the first time you get a few chuckles, but, you know, as far as video game movies go, I think it's pretty high up there. Dan, what is your favorite video game film?
Well, Jimmy, as much as you are a Sonic fan, I think that people should know that I'm a huge Prince of Persia fan. So naturally, you know, I thought Prince of Persia was really great, but it wasn't that good. It definitely is not the best video game
Dan,
movie.
this is what's your favorite video game movie, not the worst.
No, this is the M. Night Shyamalan twist.
You sure it's not Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, and as much as I like Assassin's Creed, still just not that good of a movie. So Ubisoft is just losing 2 for 2 with the video game movies. Um, but an honorable mention, and one that I usually say is my favorite is uh, Max Payne. Um, which when I watched it, I just thought it was really visually interesting with the Valkyrie. I love the imagery of the wings, you know, and the feathers. They were the Val, I guess that's what they're called, Valkyrie. And I don't know, you know, I don't think that what's his name? What's the actor's name? With the Funky Bunch.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. I don't think that Mark Wahlberg is the best actor by any means, but there was something about it, like, you know, he knit his eyebrows together and was like just doing this sort of noir. I think it also had Olga Kurylenko in it, who I really like, and that guy from that sitcom on ABC Family. I'll insert a picture so that you know what I'm
There's a
talking.
bunch of them on there.
Um, So I usually say that Max Payne is my favorite, but if I'm going on record, I haven't watched it in a long time, since high school, and that was when I thought it was really good. So if I'm going on record, I don't want to say that Max Payne is my favorite. So I am comfortable going on record saying that Silent Hill is my favorite video game movie because I watched it relatively recently. I think I watched it last year. I also beat Silent Hill for the first time maybe 3 years ago. Silent Hill, the original, on the PlayStation 1. I thought it was like a really great game. And I just thought that the movie nailed it so much with the they made only some minor changes as far as like they changed the main character from being a guy to a girl, and I kind of like that better. They uh, in Silent Hill, the game, there's multiple endings, so there's not really like one way that the game goes. The movie, of course, doesn't have multiple endings, so they had to choose one, and I like the direction that it went. With a lot of video game movies, they usually go really fast, and you know you can never. It's kind of hard to pay attention to them because they're just like they think they're gonna lose the video game audience because the video game audience is like gorillas who like with controllers. Um, but Silent Hill is a different kind of movie. It like really like took its time. There's like these slow shots like through the snow or the ashes, whatever's falling down, and like they just really like they built up the suspense slowly. And then there's this really awesome sequence towards the end of the movie where our main character has to like walk through these nurses, and it's the famous nurses from the video game who like are freaky and have these like um, scalpels and hypodermic needles. Um, the movie made it so scary, and I thought they really nailed it. Um, so yeah, Silent Hill. That's my favorite video game movie. That's it for us. Thank you for watching. Um, if you like this, make sure to do what you want to do. Don't let the man tell you what to do.
Hey, don't listen to this, man.
Aren't you
100%.
telling them what to do by telling them not to let the
Yeah,
man
he
do what
is.
to do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like that doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of a punk player.
You're
Exactly.
becoming the man, man.
no, but exactly, you can never really escape control. Systems of control are all that we have.
That is true.
One way or another. So
Am I?
you know what? So like we're gonna be. This is a new show that we're doing where we answer questions every week. We have a whole bunch of questions, but if you wanted to actually ask us questions, then we wouldn't have to say in the beginning that that these are questions nobody asked us to answer, because then you would be asking us to answer them.
Unless you consider yourself a nobody.
Okay, we'll elaborate on that.